The idea of driving to Fort Worth for chiropractic care might sound a little ridiculous if you live on the Dallas side of the Metroplex, but it's not that ridiculous when you've tried everything under the sun and you're still living in pain.
I always continued to go on, but I did it in pain and didn't enjoy it. And everything that I did hurt, and you just start concentrating so much on the pain that's going on that you're just so clouded and unfocused, and you just do it because you have to do it whether you enjoy it or not. From the very first day, I had relief. He was able to show me and tell me what was wrong, and came in the very next day for my first visit, and it was funny because once he did it, I went, that's it? Really? I mean, 5 years, and that was all that I had to do? It was so simple.
I knew I had my life back when I sat up after the first treatment. I had been seeing numerous types of doctors, numerous doctors for over 8 months. I started in September and never left a doctor's office with even a shred of evidence that they knew what I had or even were trying to find what I had, yet alone fix what I had. When I laid down for the treatment, I hadn't taken any medication that day because I was in the middle of a headache and it was rapidly going worse. My husband was with me. He knows the signs. You can tell I get real pale. And even before I sat up and knew I was better, my husband knew I was better because he said as soon as we call it pulling the trigger, as soon as the trigger was pulled, he said a wash came over me, which I couldn't see the wash. I felt the wash. I felt a cool wave literally start at the top of my head and shoot out my toe like lightning, only it didn't hurt. It was just a nice cool wave. And within that nanosecond, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like when you're scared and you get the hair on the back of your neck feeling stand up. That's a bad feeling, but this was a good feeling in the same way. When I sat up after the treatment, 2-3 minutes, however long I laid there, the spots on the back of my neck, behind my earlobes, that I had been complaining for, my glasses fit too tight or something was wrong. They'd been so sore to the touch before I laid down. He couldn't even hardly touch them. When I sat up, he was not only feeling on them, he was pushing on them and there was no pain. And the headache that I had been fighting all day was gone. It wasn't bearable, it wasn't better, it wasn't kind of there, it was gone. I have taken hydrocodone, I have taken Lortabs, I have taken Midrin, I have taken, I think, every drug they can prescribe for headaches. And even with a drug, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to get you to a point where you just don't feel like your head's gonna blow off. I didn't have any drugs, and my head was not hurting. I'd had a constant headache for 8 months. I sat up, and I had no headache. Now, if that's not miracle, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's voodoo, I don't care if it's miracle, I don't care what it is. I didn't have a headache.
Get out of pain. Get back to health. Call Back to Health Family Chiropractic today at 817-810-9111.